Payman who?
Monte.
Payman Monte. Who is he?
Never paid taxes in 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government. The IRS is in chaos. And how can this help save you hundreds of thousands of dollars or maybe millions or more? I will show that to you in this presentation. I am Payman Monte, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996, and I have not paid these crooks and criminals in D.C. for over 30 years any money. No federal income or payroll taxes, no filing. IRS knows about me, never been in prison, and be teaching Americans like you to do the same legally and safely, correctly. So let's talk about IRS, how they're in chaos now. Here's headlines coming up. February, leadership shift, Billy Long to replace IRS Commissioner that Biden had left behind. Then come this other one, Krause to serve as acting commissioner, okay? O'Donnell retires. Then we have this other headline that this Irish whistleblower, he was for 2 days acting IRS commissioner before he is also replaced. And then Faulkner is named as the fourth acting IRS commissioner. And so basically, IRS loses its fourth commissioner in just 3 months. And it gets actually worse for the IRS. This is an article actually labeled IRS is in chaos, and it's true. Doge, IRS departures, data agreements, and more are creating havoc at the IRS, and that's good news for you, my friends, who believe in freedom, want to be free and prosperous. So let's get back to this exciting news. So again, IRS is on its fifth commissioner since January 1st, okay? Gary Wilford was the guy that we know was inherited from Biden. He was the first one. So then what experts say is that it will take time for all the agency cuts to be felt by people outside the IRS, including taxpayers and tax preparer community. Oh, do I feel bad for them? Don't file those 1040 confession forms. You'll be free of these guys. Who needs them? And yes, the more complex audits will also decline. Okay, fine. But that means that the IRS will focus on low-hanging fruit, exam that agents conduct solely through correspondence. Maybe, or they do even less of that as well, by the way. Okay? Now, and they say, oh, but good luck in getting people to reply to correspondence that you send to the IRS. So, don't send anything to the IRS. Don't file a 1020 form. You don't have to wait for them to respond to you. That's right. And they say, oh, taxpayer assistance will also suffer, including phone lines. Well, that's the easy solution for that. Don't be a taxpayer. Don't pay taxes. You won't have any problems if you're not a taxpayer, if you don't file income taxes. You'll be free of all these problems that the IRS will be having more of. And check this out, okay? On January 1st, IRS had about 100,000 employees. 11,000 people were either terminated or took the government's first deferred resignation offer in February and March. And then another 22,000 or so accept the government's second deferred resignation offer in April. Yeah, and many of these workers have already left the agency or will be gone by May or June. Right now we're in mid-May at the latest, okay? And even more widespread layoffs or reductions in force are expected to take place. So that means already that's about 1/3, 1 out of 3 IRS employees will be gone, and more coming. There's a bunch of incompetent, lazy people. They're going to even be doing worse than they did before. Okay? So, and of course, here's the interesting part. They do mention all aspects of the IRS will be impacted, including enforcement. That's right. They'll leave American people alone more. That's good. Chief counsel, that's lawyers, appeals officers, forums, taxpayer servers, criminal investigations. Who needs these guys? Do you want these people? No, I don't want them. Get rid of them. Good. Suffer completely and leave. Right? We don't need that in this free country. Okay, and then computer and database modernization. That's fine. Let the IRS break apart sooner by not updating its systems. Okay? And many of these IRS workers who took the deferred resignation offers are near or at retirement age. Like me, I'm 62 years old, everybody. The loss of experience and know-how will be hard to replenish with those who remain. Ain't that the truth? Yes, the experienced people are gone. Young people don't know what they're doing, right? Now here's more. And then modernizing the IRS's outdated, antiquated database and other IT systems. Guess what? That is being put on hold. That's right. So the IRS will not be any more efficient. And all this propaganda about, oh, IRS is going to use AI to get people. All a bunch of lies. It's just a bunch of lies get you scared. None of that will happen. Okay? So I want you to know the good news is they are falling apart just like the Soviet Union. The communist Soviet Union, who started in 1917, it collapsed. It took over 70 years. It collapsed in 1991. This communist income tax system started get going after World War II, where they got Americans to agree to withholding from the paycheck. Okay? So from late 40s to 2020s, it's been over 70 years. It's time for the IRS to go down the dustbin of history the same way the Soviet Union collapsed from within. And you and I, my friends, will help make that happen. Well, look, watch this video, okay? Associated Press did this article, but this is young people in the Soviet Union stood up to the totalitarian, brutal, communist regime of Joseph Stalin. Why? Because they recognize en masse this is not the same regime that brutally murdered millions in 1920s and 30s. No, it's not. This is an outdated government system that will and did fall apart from within, and that's what's going on with the income tax. The whole IRS. That means you can be free. I know you're hurting with inflation. Price of food, rent, mechanic, car repair, everything's been going up. And wages not kept up with inflation. I know that. You deserve a pay raise. But guess what? The pay raise was always yours to begin with because you never owed an income tax to the federal government in the first place. They just need you to fill out this 1040 U.S. individual income tax return form. And on this form, claim you owe the IRS income. This U.S., they misled you to believe that means the 50 states, United States. But it does not. What is it? This form is actually the District of Columbia individual income tax return. If you understood the definitions they cleverly hide in the tax laws, in their internal revenue code, the Bible of the IRS. They make this big book of gobbledygook, confusion on purpose so long, you just give up and depend on TurboTax, okay, or your accountancy, your tax attorney to help you figure out what the heck is all this? What am I supposed to do? Definitions were hidden at the back. Not for the front, for you to see it and see it does not apply to you in the back. Let me show you what these eye-opening definitions are, which were hidden in plain sight in the law books. Right here, the 1040 form instructions that the IRS puts out tells us right here about following requirements on page 8 that these rules apply to all U.S. citizens. And I agree, U.S. But what does U.S. mean? They don't tell you. They mislead you again to believe it's a 50 states, and it is not. It's going to shock you. Okay? Here it is. The Code of Federal Regulations, the Federal Income Tax Regulations, okay? Part 1.1-1 Income Tax on Individuals tells us that Section 1 of the code, the Internal Revenue Code you saw, imposes an income tax on income of every individual who's a citizen or resident of the United States. Again, they made you believe that means me, you. No. Here is a definition of the United States, specifically from the Internal Revenue Code online at uscode.house.gov. Here is Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, Chapter 79, Definitions. Right, oh, here's a trick. You ready for the trick? When used in this title, what title? Again, folks, Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, the Bible of the IRS, is what we're reading online from government's own official source of law. So they define all these things like person, partner, that do not need any defining, but they want to give them specific definitions. And here's the one for the United States and state. And look at that. The term state does not include any of the 50 states, but include only the District of Columbia, which is not even a state. How could it include the District of Columbia, which is not a state, in the definition of the term state? Because they can. And they also deliberately do not list any of the 50 states. Not California, Texas, New York, Florida, none of them. And same thing, by the way, when it comes to United States. The only thing included in there is, again, the District of Columbia, but not any of the 50 states. Yep. So you see, a U.S. citizen is someone from the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Not you or me who live in the 50 United States, 50 United countries. Okay? Now, it gets even better, okay? Here it is. The Supreme Court takes away all the data about these definitions, and Ghoul versus Ghoul. This is a unanimous Supreme Court tax case. And what does the Supreme Court tells us? That in the interpretation or understanding of statutes, laws, levying or imposing taxes. So in understanding laws that impose taxes, it is the established rule not to extend their provision of tax laws, by implication or implying, beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge their operation of the tax laws, so as to embrace matters not specifically pointed out. What does that mean? Well, look at this right here. Section 7701, United States and state, they do not list any other 50 states. They're not there. You cannot assume there's anything in the United States for tax purposes besides the District of Columbia. Right? Okay, so they deceived you to believe all this. Okay, and one more thing. If you have any doubt about this stuff, the tax laws are construed or interpreted most strongly against the government's power to tax and in favor of the citizen not being taxed. So any doubt about all this? It is, you're free. You're not a slave. You never owed income tax. You see, people, America was 13 colonies, became 13 states. These 13 states or countries became a union, and they had the Washington, D.C. government, the United States, be an agent of the states, and still is. The federal government is the government of limited powers that the states gave it, like common defense, common money, common immigration rules, and things like that. The states remain countries, sovereign, same as France, Germany, and Italy in the European Union are countries. Florida, Texas, New York are also countries within this union. And in D.C., however, the federal government can do whatever they want because it was given to them as a military headquarters to protect the states from invasion by England, take America back. Okay, and it was independent in that land that was given. So that's the land and its people where the income tax law is written for. And look at this, the 10th Amendment reminds everybody, okay, that the federal government is a government of limited powers. The powers not delegated to the United States by Constitution, nor prohibited by the states, are reserved to states, respectively, or to the American people. Very simple. The income tax never applied to you. So you don't have to be afraid of the IRS, folks. They're falling apart. No more signing those 1040 income tax confession forms because you're only hurting yourself. You sign those 1040 forms, you put the rope around your neck, you say on the oath, you owe the IRS money, and you put the burden of proof on yourself. You do all of this, okay? Okay, because you were deceived by your accountant, your attorney. Sign a 1040 form, it's a confession form, and you put the noose around your neck. And when you do that, you confess under oath that you owe the IRS money. And this is how you give the IRS the power to audit you. There's no audit without a tax return. There's nothing to audit. There's no expenses, deduction, credits to audit when you don't file anything at all. This is how IRS gets the power to empty your bank account because you tell them you owe them the money. Steal your crypto, your property, and put you in prison. All there. People, you gotta check this out for yourself in more detail, but I'm gonna show this to you right now that you need to know that the safest way to have the IRS leave you alone is to not file any 1040 income tax confession form. Just stop. Stop signing this form under oath, penalties of perjury, claiming that you owe the IRS money. On line 37, you say how much you owe. You say it under oath. Tell your friends, stop signing these forms. Your accountant, did he tell you what it means when it says sign here? The fine print? Did he tell you what the fine print means? Of course not. That CPA or accountant would make no money. If it told you, you put the rope around your neck by paying him, right? So these are the keys you need to know. And of course, the good news is IRS is propaganda. It's all lies by media, the Wizard of Oz. You don't need to be afraid of them. And the gig is over. People are waking up, realizing the buttons were pushed by the controlled media, by corrupt preachers who tell you to pay to Caesar what's under Caesar's, but you never owed anything to Caesar to begin with. Okay, these are fear buttons, all the panic buttons, everything else. Okay, well, folks, IRS is just going and going and gone. Okay, and the truth is, they are not the Godzilla that they pretended to be, that media pretended for you to be. Okay, none of our students gone to prison who came to us clean with the IRS. That's right, none of them. Okay, you don't have to be a slave, pay, worship the beast at all, give anything. You will not go to prison if you write our petitions to your congressman for free. Challenge your congressman. Show me where I'm wrong, and I'll pay the income tax. I've done that, so should you, for free on our website. If you go there, it's all there. By the way, you can stop income tax withholding. If you go here on the right, third menu item is free yourself from tax withholding. Go there, stop your employer from stealing income tax from your paycheck. Okay? It's there for free. I have a free video on this topic, free instructions, and the free forms to do it correctly. So stop the stealing of income taxes from your paycheck and then stop filing. If you're an independent contractor, a salesman, business owner, stop sending money to the IRS and stop signing the 1040 form. It's so easy. You can fire your accountant, CPA, tax attorney. You don't need them. Okay? So, and it's easy. If you want to get safety, folks, it's available. If you want extra safety, you can do it for free on your own, or like the founding fathers, get together with each other and join our Restore Freedom plan. And here now together, you can back each other up and have 100% guarantee. IRS will not take any of your money, otherwise you will be reimbursed, and you will not go to prison either. And better than that, even, you can get paid by telling others, by loving others, and spread the truth. Be the modern day Paul Revere. That's right. Where's our brochures? We will send you our brochures for free, okay, to hand out to people. That's right. Restore Freedom brochures. Teaching people. No law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income or payroll taxes. That's right. We mail it to you for free, all these, and just put your information down here, your name and phone number or number we give you, private number, and we won't even pay you. A great way to make extra income in this bad economy. You need extra income? Fun way to make money? Sell freedom, not widgets, not toys, not on Amazon. Sell freedom. Text your friends, family members. Email them on our social media. Mention us, okay? And you have America be free and have yourself be free. So in short, the solution is in your hands. The IRS is falling apart. How soon you'll free yourself, it's up to you. All you have to do is when you get in your car every day, put our videos up there, okay, on our website, freedomlawschool.org. That's right. And then, as you drive around, listen to our videos, watch the road, and educate yourself for free. After a short time, a few days of driving, listen to it, and at work, at lunch or dinner, at night, watch them again to make sure you get it. You'll be free, just like me. And together, we can join hands by telling other people that we love. We give them a chance to learn the truth. You stand up, and you live free and prosperous with joy, no more financial worries, and so in America. You make America great once again. So go to freedomlawschool.org and continue your journey to freedom that you're meant to.